Hi, everybody. Welcome to Henrietta's Hormones, another little episode. Today we have some wonderful couple. This is Peter and his lovely wife, Jamie, and they have a wonderful story to tell. But I'd like to introduce it just a little bit with my usual Scottishness, which I think half of you don't really get, but that's okay. So, life is challenging, and I see a lot of that when I work in medicine and do the type of work that I do. And it can be very tragic. Life can be very difficult with your health. And so I'd like to go forward with one of my songs that I dearly love that just kind of explains unexpected sadness. And so one of my favorite songs is The Bonnie Bonnie Banks of Loch Lomond. And it's about this soldier who dies and leaves his true love. And as he's singing, or as the song tells the story, he's saying, "You take the high road and I'll take the low road, and I'll be in Scotland for you." So what he's saying is the low road is down to England and away from Scotland. The high road is towards Scotland and where they're from. And because he has now gone to another world and another realm, that he'll actually beat her to get to Scotland on our journey. And so life can be very hard and very sudden. And Jamie and Peter's story is about their journey in finding their children. And they never knew for one instance that it would be as hard as it is. So, Jamie, if you don't mind starting, that would be wonderful.
Peter and I wanted to have children since before we were married. And little did we know that it would take us 18 years being married to have them. But through trying to adopt and that not working out, and the heartbreak of being called and then told that you weren't chosen after all, or whatever, that was very devastating. So we took a little break, and then we came saw Esme, and she ran tests and did different things, and we found out that there were some problems and that I would need to have surgery. So we went ahead with that, and we had surgery knowing that we may never be able to have children, and that the real possibility that that wouldn't happen was heartbreaking. They found that I had several fibroids. I think that there were 6 of them that they removed, and endometriosis. It's pretty much like a growth on the outside that every time that you menstruate, like, it grows and it feeds. So it's very painful, and it can attach to other things like your bladder, or anyway, other organs. So it had attached to my stomach, to my bladder. Can't remember everything else, but yeah. So after the surgery, they told us about
I cannot, I
yeah.
cannot wait to say something, but keep going.
Three, they told us after the surgery that we needed to wait a period of time. And just after our 18th wedding anniversary, we found out we were pregnant with our first daughter. So that it was very exciting, but very scary after you wait so long, not knowing if things are going to go right or if they're not. And I struggled with that during the pregnancy, not knowing if this was for real.
I want to say something. So, first of all, it is so hard when you are living in community where people believe in families, and it's Mother's Day, Father's Days, all these holidays, and you always come with your puppy. Now, I love dogs, so we have a baby number 1 who is hairy one and it barks, but it's different. It's different. So there are definitely moments when we were like, we just want to escape this craziness. Also, there's lots of people who give you advices. We had people leaving books in our mailboxes and stuff like that, and we were like, herbal supplements, and do you guys need help? And we were like, we don't really want to tell you anything. But this is how things happen, and I believe they do not happen by accident. I met Esme, and Esme did not just help Jamie; she helped me. She had a plan. She had connections, and through her, I believe like she is like one of the two angels we met on this path, and she helped us tremendously. And another person helped us to have the two miracles that we have now. Now, from the husband point of view, it's very hard to see your wife go through the like us guys. I mean, if I would believe going to the pub and have a beer, we're fine. We solve all the issues, but it's different for women. Yeah. And they're so special. And it's so hard to see them hurting so much. And not only just inside, but like really physical pain. And that was something that we felt like we got relief through Esme and through Dr. Lawrence. It was fantastic. The babies are cute. Like after we found out that we are pregnant, so the true story is you have to do something to try to get pregnant. So we had IVF a visit, but because it was COVID, so it was all online. And there are some changes in pregnancy that happen that women recognize something is different. And right after that conversation that we had on a computer, Jamie said, I really think I'm pregnant. I'm like, oh, whatever, whatever, whatever. We went to Walgreens, got like 3 or 4 testers, and sure enough, she was. But the coolest thing about it was not even like, oh, I feel I'm pregnant. But really, something that I even consider like really sacred thing was a few weeks later to see not be able to hear, but see the heartbeat on ultrasound. And it was just this boom, boom, boom. So that was freaking hard. And we have that video still, like that will never be deleted. That video, that little heartbeat is right now almost 4 and telling me she wants to go to preschool. And I'm so against it because I'm not willing to share her with anybody. Truth to be said, I had a hard time, but it's a huge blessing, and really you never know where the path will take you and who you meet on that path. But the important part about it is not just who you meet, but to do everything you can about it. And we tried. We really tried to have kids. It was not happening. Then we met these two angels, and they put us on the right path, but we still had to do our part. And that was, like listen what they say, swallow a pill that you have to take, get it stuck in the throat, every once in a while. So you have to drink extra water, eat banana in the middle of the night. But it really works. So it kind of goes both ways, like what they did and what we did. And then you see these miracles, so we have 2 kids. Yeah. So we felt that we should try one more time. And we got our youngest daughter, she's 2. And so we got 2 girls, and they'll not leave me, and I'll be able to see them grow and have their own lives. But it's crazy where lives take you and who you meet on your path. But just because you meet them, that doesn't mean anything if you don't do anything about it. So you have to do your part. And we tried, and we were totally willing to say, if nothing happened, nothing happened. At least we have no regrets. So, anyhow, to see your wife suffering and to kind of struggle physically, I mean, I can probably say it out loud like having period 30 days of the month is not really fun thing. And it was awful. And it kind of like at the same time, I'm so grateful for the modern medicine because this is something that probably Jamie's family had and other people had because it kind of runs in the family, the endometriosis. And yeah, that's kind of my story. I'm glad and I'm grateful, and yeah, it was not fun, but I don't think this life is all about having fun. It's kind of like when this smart guy, smarter than me, said there's a difference between fun and joy. Fun is going to Disneyland on Splash Mountains, put your hands out, go down. That's fun, but joy is something that you just will remember. And it's kind of like, you remember when we got married, you remember when babies were born. So stuff like that you will never forget. That's my story.
It's an amazing story. I just want to say a couple of things. With Jamie and Peter, there was a lot of unknown with them, and a lot of it had to do with their hormones, also had to do with the actual inflammation within the womb. Jamie had more than her share of inflammation, and that was part of the reason why the little corpus luteum wouldn't stay stuck is because it had no place to be there. It was so lumpy, bumpy, and full of inflammation. And so we had to tackle the inflammation, and she did that by taking the right things. And another thing we had to do was balance her thyroid. A lot of people don't understand that thyroid and fertility are one and all. In fact, it's not just thyroid and fertility, it's thyroid, cortisol, and adrenals and fertility. I was at this endocrine conference in Scottsdale, Arizona, and I was talking to the doctor, and this quite a few years back. And I was talking to him about women, and I was talking to him about T3. T3, there's as part of the thyroid, and T4 is what generally people focus on. And so when I asked him what was his focus on the T3, which makes a huge difference to the fertility part, he really kind of, put it down, and he kind of said, well, this is honestly his answer. If you have your car parked in parking lot B and you're looking for it in parking lot A, you're not going to find your car. Now, I told him that he needs to take a step forward and look at the new literature out there. And because Jamie was willing to take not just T4, but also T3 while she was pregnant, it made a big difference. And, she was so willing to do so much. And I think part of it was because she'd been through so much and she had shared so many tears, so much pain, so much uncertainty and agony. And, when life throws you a curveball, sometimes it is a long curveball. And for me to be a part of this is because they're all inclusive. Like, I can't just look at them and say, oh, you have to do this and you have to do that. I look at them and I say, okay, this is a reason behind what we need to do. What do you think? Like, they were part of the plan all along. And if I didn't have them part of the plan, then they wouldn't have their little girls. They wouldn't have their little baby girls. And Peter's right and Jamie's right. Dr. Carrie Lawrence was the one who just took her uterus. Let's clean it up. Let's do what we want to get you better, or do what we have to do to get you better. And so just the fact that they were brave enough to put themselves out there and say, listen, this is so dear to our heart. This means everything. And we have tried to go through adoption. We've tried so many things, and not even the infertility weren't able to help them. I'm not saying that infertility doesn't have its place, because it really does. But I have never seen in the whole history of women's health the rate of infertility in our 20-year-olds these days. This generation is plagued with irregular periods and ovulation, where they don't ovulate regularly how they should. And there's a lot of environmental factors. So you just didn't have the genetic factors, you also had the environmental factors. And Jamie took those environmental factors and turned them around for her. And so I really wanted them to come and share their story, because they are not unique. I wish they were. I wish they were, because it's really a lot of sadness that they go through. So I don't have much more to
I
say.
do. Esme is also a person that actually listens. Yeah. She is one of very, very few on my hands. I can just count all of them that actually listens. And that makes a huge difference. She takes time. She sets a goal and she falls through. Like it's great. Like we really get it done. So that made a huge difference because we also felt comfortable. Would you not say we were
Yeah.
comfortable? Because we have tried other people before. There's no questions we
No
did.
question.
But she listened and it made a huge difference. It really did. So I, as a nurse practitioner myself, and educate. I really try to be like her. And if I will be 15, 20% like her, I think this world will be a much better place. And it already is because of you, as me. And I did not want to stop. Like, I'm like, time out. I need to tell them about you. So it's true.
You know what, guys? Life isn't getting any easier for anybody. And when I was down at this endocrine clinic, and I tell people I'm not an endocrinologist, no way, but I know how to look at blood and see if the numbers are off. And as you guys have seen the other two episodes where Chris Coxon came and talked about how FDA approved these bioidentical hormones are, and how they work and how they downregulate cells and downregulate inflammation. It is so helpful. Talk about joy, Peter. To be part of this world and look at this beautiful couple and see their gorgeous, gorgeous girls is something that makes me skip. And I'm an old lady and I shouldn't be skipping. But I tell you, I have so much joy in what I do, and God gave me compassion. God sent me here with compassion. He sent me here to find friends who make a difference in my life. He sent me here with teachers that are amazing. Like, I can list the teachers right from the get-go when I started my training in London of what a difference they made in my life. And if I can continue and if my door stays open, because I'm doing the right thing, then that's all right with me. And I think they give me way too much credit.
Oh, no.
No.
They're so beautiful. And I want you guys to have a great week till our next podcast. Bye. If Peter and Jamie's experience tugs at your heart and you are looking for another answer other than in vitro fertilization, reach out to me at Athena Women's Clinic in Orem, Utah. Please hit subscribe, please hit like, and then that way this will be shared to others. And I really appreciate it. Thank you.